Um, Bonsoir à tous. Bonsoir à tous. Thank you. Thought you were all asleep or something. My name's G, and I'm going to be talking for the next 5 minutes about how companies need to reform the way that they communicate with their customers. Just quickly, a little bit about my company. We work with companies in the US and in Europe, and what we try to do is work with forward-thinking companies to better express their competitiveness and their profitability. Now, is your company, is your industry singing the blues like B.B. King here? Technology has changed a lot in terms of how we interact with each other, how businesses react with consumers. The game has changed totally, and it's never going to go back to the way it was. And what we need to do, business leaders are lost about how to implement this technology in the way to communicate with their customers. It used to be the case that we used to work with technology, and technology was the way to actually differentiate yourself from your competitors. But today, there's a level playing field. All your competitors are using the same technology that you have, and the capabilities of your company are just the same as everyone else. But worse than that, customers are a lot more difficult. They're a lot more demanding than they ever were before. And 90% of business leaders agree with this. But worse than that, customers are no longer as loyal as they used to be with companies. 86% of defectors went to another company, but were actually satisfied with the company that they were with in the first place. So why did they leave? Why not? They're also being identified, they're collaborating together in a number of other ways. 93% of customers identify word of mouth as a big source of getting knowledge and getting information about products and ideas. But it's not so much word of mouth, as I like to call it, word of mouse. Because it's social media. Yes, you can't get away without mentioning the word social media. Blogs, forums, Twitter, Facebook, all of these sort of things. They're creating communities, and together these communities are very, very strong, and together they can make the difference between a company succeeding or failing. So one of the things companies can do is to think in 3D. Now, what do I mean by thinking in 3D? It's 3 Ds that you need to remember. And these 3 Ds are being dramatically and demonstrably different. Now, the key word there is demonstrably. You need to be able to demonstrate how your business value is different from your competitors. And it's no longer, you need to prove it. And if you can't demonstrate that, then you're just noise. You're beneath the threshold, and you're noise. You're within the soup. You're not above that threshold level in the spotlight. You just disappear with the customers. Now, by saying demonstrably different, I don't mean the usual corporate blah blah that we've seen so many times. We are the best. We do the best products. We are number one. We have all of this stuff. Nobody believes that stuff. They didn't believe it 5 years ago. They certainly don't believe it now. 76% of consumers don't believe the information that companies are distributing, because the type of information that they're using is exactly the same sort of thing that they've been doing for the last 50 years. But consumers have evolved hugely compared to that. So what we need to do is we need to engage with our customers. We need to stop talking to them and start talking with them, creating conversations, interacting, collaborating, and because the idea is what we're doing is we're building reliability, we're building respect, we're building validity in our argument, but more than anything else, we're building trust, because trust is the new currency, really, in the new world order that I'm talking about. Yes, it's about networking, but that's only part of it. What we're talking about is reformulating the business value communication in a way that your customer understands, in your customer's language, away from all the acronyms and the techno blah blah, which nobody understands apart from the techies. Finally, my 5 minutes is just about up. I'll just leave you with this one slide. There are 3 types of people in business. There are those who make things happen. There are those who watch things happen. And finally, the third part, is those who ask, what happened? Well, what I mean by that is reformulating that. It's no longer what you want to buy. It's no longer what I want to sell, it's what do you want to buy. It's not what is my solution, it's understanding your problem. That's primarily what I'm talking about, reformulating that business value message so that your customers can actually understand and hopefully engage with you as companies, as individuals. That's pretty much my 5 minutes. Thanks very much for your time.